Hi again. So in my first video, I mentioned an assignment called the History Journal, and I said that assignment was so cool and so important that I would record a second video to discuss it. So here it is. Here's your video describing the History Journal assignment. The assignment's discussed a little bit in your syllabus, but I thought I would do this video to help flesh it out and help you understand a little bit more about what you'll be doing in the journal assignment. So I mentioned that you have the OpenStax US History online textbook, the free online textbook. That's one of your required readings for the class. That's connected to your quizzes, your exams, your discussion forums. You also have the book called For the Record, Documentary History of the United States, Volume 1. That's the book that will connect to this History Journal assignment. I think it's a lot of fun. So let me explain what that book is, all right? That book is a collection of what we call primary source documents in history. These are documents written during the time periods in history that we're studying by people who lived through that historical event. So eyewitness accounts of US history sometimes are much more engaging and enriching way to look at the past beyond just talking about it or reading a textbook, right? So what I'm gonna have you do is you'll read selected documents from this book. There's a lot of documents in that book. I won't make you read all of them. I've chosen the ones I think are the most crucial for you to understand various time periods in history and to get a lot of different perspectives about the past. So you'll check the syllabus, which discusses which documents you want to read in that book each week. You also can check in each module in Canvas, there's a weekly overview page, like week 1 overview, week 2 overview. The overview pages will also tell you which documents in the For the Record book you want to read that week, okay? And so each document that you read that's assigned in that book, you're going to start keeping what I call a history journal. What you want to do is you want to keep a file going, whether it's in Microsoft Word or Google Docs, wherever you want to keep this file handy. And each time you read a document, you're going to do a journal entry about that document. And in this journal entry, you are not being asked to summarize the document. I'm not asking you to tell me what the document says or what its contents are. I'm asking you to analyze that document. And analysis is very different. Analyzing something doesn't mean saying what it is or what it says. It means taking what that document says and offering your reactions to it. Your analysis of each document in this journal entry will ask you to give me your reactions to that document. What are your opinions about it? Why do you feel that way? It's not just, okay, this document says this. It's, I really agree with what so-and-so is saying in this document. I really feel like this is an important thing to say, and here's why. Or, I can't believe people used to believe this sort of thing in 1765 or whatever. And I think it's more important to feel this. You're trying to find ways to connect the past to the present in this history journal. And in doing so, you're going to tell me what your opinions are about that. I'll give you an example. Okay, whoever the president of the United States happens to be in any time period in American history, Americans have opinions about that president, whether they love the president or hate the president or somewhere in between. So if I say to a person, okay, what do you think about the president? They might say, oh, I think this president's awesome, or I can't stand this president. Guess what my next question would be? Why? Why do you feel that way? What makes you admire the president, or what makes you despise the president? It's not just enough in these history journal entries to tell me what you think about that document. You need to tell me why. What makes you react in a certain way to that document, all right? Sometimes you might read something that challenges you, that you don't fully understand. Give it a shot, right? You're going to read some really famous documents in this collection, some famous speeches, some famous writings. You'll read some other things by people you may never have heard of. You may read some things you've never encountered before that are opening your eyes to different perspectives in American history. All of these documents, I think, are worth engaging in. So in these journals, you're going to keep a running tally, an entry for every separate reading that's itemized in the syllabus, and or in the readings in the overview pages. You read a document, you write down your reaction to it, a paragraph or so where you flesh out your opinions about that document and why you felt that way. And then what I'm going to do 4 times this semester, you'll see in a module 4 different times that I'm collecting your responses to X number of documents to that point. So for example, journal collection number 1, whenever it's collected, in that assignment, I'll say, okay, for this journal collection, your responses to all of the following documents from For the Record are due. And the assignment will list all the documents that by that point you should have read and responded to in your history journal. Just like all the other assignments, the journal, the week it's collected, will be due by midnight on Sunday that week. and you're going to submit in Canvas a full collection of all of your responses to the documents I asked you to read up to that point, okay? Now, there's going to be sometimes different numbers of documents for each collection. So what I'm going to do, I want you to understand the formula that I'm going to use, okay? I take however many documents there are in that collection, and I divide that into the points possible to see what the maximum point value is for each journal entry in that collection, okay? If I think that your entry on a specific document is engaging, you're offering clearly explained analysis of what you think about that document and why you feel that way with your reactions to it, and not just summarizing, I'll give you the full points possible for it. Great. If I think that your entry it's decent, you know, it looks like you read it, you're doing more summary than analysis, you're just sort of offering a couple of quick thoughts on it without much substance, I'll still give you some points. I'll give you 80% of the points possible for an entry like that. Very rarely, I might read a journal entry on a certain document and I think, God, you really didn't put much effort into this. It's hard to tell if you even read it. Maybe you just looked at the title of it and threw some thoughts out. Maybe you just read the introduction that the book offers for that document. You really didn't engage in it very much. I'll give you half the points possible for that, okay? And then I tally all those up, and that's how many points you get out of the points possible for that collection. What I think it's a fun way to engage in history beyond just reading a chapter and taking a quiz, all right? There's a place for that, but this gives you a chance to read eyewitness accounts from history and really offer your thoughts on it. And I think it's a lot of fun, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. I think you'll get a lot out of it. A lot of students say that the history journal is their favorite part of the class, and I think you'll feel that way too, or at least I hope you do. So as with anything else, if you have any questions, you're welcome to contact me. If the first journal collection comes along and you're a little fuzzy on what I'm asking you to do on this, feel free to send me an email and I can flesh that out for you and explain it a little bit more for you. Or give me a call, all right? But I hope that this video helped to explain what the journal assignment is for and helped you to understand it a little more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.